Coming up on Out the Frame, who is the West Coast top 10 rappers of all time?
Did the West Coast have the strongest stranglehold on rap?
And what is your predictions for Kendrick Lamar in the Super Bowl?
Young Thug just came home. What's his next moves? All that on more coming up next on Out the Frame.
Out the Frame. Let's go.
Let's get it.
To it, and I spark up some pack to it. I'm Coach Rivers in every team meeting. Hear them bounty on your head, and they say that the info leaking out.
Welcome back to Out the Frame, your in-depth look at the hip-hop, culture, sports, etc. I'm your host, Blek.
And you got your man with you right here, DP, a.k.a. Don't Play, a.k.a. PZ, a.k.a. DP, and you are now tuned in to Out the Frame podcast.
Let's get it. Hey, my
man. Look, man, I got something for you, dog. I know you've been anticipating this for a while, right?
Oh, now I've been anticipating. Gotta watch this nigga. Go ahead.
I know you've been anticipating this. Your favorite rapper, bro. Favorite rapper just dropped some shit. How you think about it?
Oh, Tupac back? Let's go.
Tupac
back?
Close.
Who you got? Close.
That's actually pretty close.
That's the only nigga you can say is my favorite rapper.
Same girl. So you're close. Same girl.
Same girl.
They got the same girl. Man, you know, Fresh Prince. Will to the Smith. Hey, but have you
my favorite rapper, Will Smith?
Didn't you tell me your first CD was He's a Rapper?
Hell no.
That wasn't your first CD. Your first
Hell
tape.
No.
That wasn't your first
No,
tape.
My first tape ever was Paid in Full, Eric B. and Rakim, nigga. Stop playing.
You old as shit, nigga.
Man, I was like 7. I was like 7.
Said, oh, there's this new music out. They call it hip hop.
He a little young. You know his favorite motherfucking rapper. His first CD was motherfucking Soulja Boy joint.
Nah, yeah. I don't know Soulja Boy in my life.
Yes, you did, nigga.
I'll tell you the first CD I ever bought though. First CD I ever bought. Snoop Dogg Doggy Style. That's
there you go.
First CD I ever went and bought on my own.
Yeah, I know these niggas had cornrows to stop like right at the back of his ear.
No, I didn't have cornrows in. To be matter of fact, Bone came after. I had the what's the dude from Bone that had the Dookie joint?
Wish.
I had them. I ain't gonna lie.
The little puff ball. You probably put them in your hair yourself too.
I think my mom or my dad did it. Them joints was
I want to grow my hair out. Like, all right, we gonna grow your hair out, all right.
But check your man out though. He dropped some. He's back, man. They say he's back.
Oh man.
Look at this code on me. Ay, tell me who cold is me. Ay, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. I mean, I'm right where that supposed to be. Ay, save all the jokes for me, cause it ain't a joke to me. I pull up with gang, they gon' turn around and make a toast to me. Straight out of Philly, I came out the gutter. I still hit the city with all of my brothers. I might go to Overbrook, get me a cheesesteak, cause I got all this bread and butter. They tried to clone me, make it a body double, but I promise it won't be another. I had enough, I ain't with the tough talk. I mean, did I just stutter?
Hey. I know I heard that shit before that beat, that Japanese shit, whatever that shit is. But hey, for real, here's what's sad. Will Smith almost 60. Nah, he ain't that old. But he in his mid-50s though. He gotta be.
He's in his mid-50s.
He got
he's probably like 50. He's probably like 50. I'll put
Watch this. Hey Google.
I'll put him at 50.
How old is Will Smith?
56 years old. 56 years old.
He's 56.
That's crazy.
I didn't understand.
Stop. So You got to figure. He, like I said, he almost 60. So if you think about it, the nigga rapping better than these niggas, man. And I ain't even trying to be funny. He actually, you can, all right, this what it is. You can hear every word he said. Simple.
Yep. Yep. He has mic presence, you know. I mean, he's been doing it for 40, what? If he's 56,
he should, right?
Like what, 30 years?
Nah, probably long.
So
if he's 56, that means he been doing it for 4. He been rapping since he was like 16. It's like 40 years.
So who is if you consider him active, then who are the top 5 active old head rappers?
That's a good one, but you gotta say
there's some good ones actually.
Nah, you gotta put LL up there. You gotta put Ice Cube up there. You gotta put Snoop up there. All of them got projects. Gotta put Dre up there.
They
all of them got projects.
I'll tell you what. Snoop is about to drop Missionary with Dr. Dre.
Right.
And that joint's coming out in December. And I told you can mark it here first. My prediction for that album is the first single will probably be Dre and Snoop on some We Back shit. Second single, don't be surprised if it doesn't have Kendrick Lamar on it, and you get that around January. It's like late December, January.
We had a conversation before the people. Get into why you saying that, because I think that's going to be an important reason.
Well, if you look at the timing, right? It's coming out December. Dre could have put this album out whenever, right? But it's coming out December, 2 months before what? Because of Super Bowl, right? So you get that, and you got Kendrick doing the Super Bowl. 2 years ago, Dr. Dre did the Super Bowl, and he brought out Kendrick. How fitting would it be that Dr. Dre puts out his first album in like 20 years? Wait, 20 plus years, right? And then features a single with Kendrick Lamar. They do it at the Super Bowl. I won't be surprised if that happens.
Now, to that point, that makes a lot of sense, because if you have Kendrick, it's going to be a West Coast thing. Like, this, call a spade a spade. If Kendrick is on a Super Bowl and he's allowed, which I know he will be, allowed to have Dre and Snoop perform alongside of him, to your prediction, a new single for the Missionary album, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, because that's going to be huge again for hip hop, because it's Kendrick and it's paying homage to Snoop and Dre and using that momentum to fuel what's going on with the new album, possibly for Kendrick. And
that's what I'm saying. So when you think about it, right, it's the safest big money play, right? Because the Super Bowl is like all eyes on the Super Bowl. So Dre comes out with his album in December. It's already going to get some attention. But let's be real, like Dre at this day and age is not going to do crazy numbers. If people are expecting him to do like 200-300 out the gate, I don't think Dre's doing that unless he has some partnership or something like that. He might do like 50 to 80K the way some of these albums are looking, because young people ain't used to Dr. Dre music, and especially not Snoop music.
And they ain't buying shit.
Yeah, and they ain't buying shit. But what it will do though is that first month, right? Like it marinates on its own. Second month, that will bring you to January. You put a single out with Kendrick Lamar, right? So it's going to build up anticipation for the album. It's a safe play for Kendrick Lamar, because I don't know what he can really drop leading up to the Super Bowl. He doesn't want to take momentum away from what he did in the summer. So he can't really drop a dud. So if he comes out on a feature that's not really his, it's a Dr. Dre and Snoop feature. So it's like, that's not really a Kendrick Lamar release. So if it goes bad or it goes good, it's not really his song. But it'll probably go good. Think about it. Kendrick Lamar, Snoop, and Dre. West Coast is going to love it. So now Kendrick got a single he's working off of. And now you're building up momentum to the Super Bowl. That drops, and I wouldn't be surprised if off the heels of that in February or March, you get that Kendrick Lamar album right after.
Hey. All I can say that right there, that sound like you on point. That sound like you on point because I can actually see that happening because just how the music business is set up these days, it makes perfect sense. It makes a lot of sense actually. Because that's the whole reason why artists on the caliber of all three of those guys, Dre, Snoop, and Kendrick, why wouldn't you being in the game and having that type of network? Why wouldn't you use that as a great momentum or great push for new projects? So I think I can actually see that happening more so than it not happening. So yeah, you be on point sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, you be on point. But yeah. So
And
with that, what you about to say? Go ahead.
what's today? The 4th. And then coming up, I think the 7th or the 8th, you got Absol coming with an album out. Coming out with an album,
Man,
which I don't think he has Kendrick on there. So, this is a little weird. But
I'll be surprised. I mean, really, I put it this way: how we know they brothers, so I'm not even like, because as soon as he ain't on the album, they beefing. That's not probably what it is at all. It's probably more so like, let me do my thing separate from your thing, so they can actually see me and understand that I'm a different artist and I don't. And it's not like that. Like I don't need your help, but yeah, I don't need your help. Let me do
like
my
I can
thing.
stand
So
on my own. Yeah, some
I can
people
stand on
want
my
that.
own.
Some people
Right.
want
And Absol B. So yeah, so I don't see that being an issue. You know what I mean? Let him do his thing. And now the thing is, if Kendrick is on it, so be it. Let him be on it. It's like it's now that definitely wouldn't hurt. You know what I mean?
I think
But
that'd be the perfect build up. Like I don't think we're gonna get too much Kendrick Lamar music, like solo Kendrick Lamar music before Super Bowl.
now this a different path I'm about to take us down, but that just lead me to thinking, right? Of a stronghold. Like, have West Coast rap have the strongest stronghold? Because we know what New York done, we know what Atlanta has done, but it seems as if through it all, West Coast rap have in some way maintained some type of relevancy through all the that time. So it's not like a comparison thing, but I guess I'm saying like or asking, have West Coast rap ever seen a time since like it's
Well,
been totally quiet, like nothing
well,
popping?
see, that's not. I don't think so. No. First, to answer your question, I don't think since they've been on, they've really have been absolutely quiet. They've always had at least one champion, whether it's Game or Dre or Kendrick
Right.
or
That's my
Snoop
point.
or Pac or NWA. They've always had one champion.
Kendrick now.
But to be fair, though, um, to like California or the West Coast is a big ass state. So like you can it might take you 4 or 5 hours to drive from Sacramento to LA. Where like if you're on the East Coast, a 4 or 5 hour drive can take you anywhere from New York, Philly, New Jersey, Delaware, DC,
Right.
Virginia. You know what I mean? So it's a
It's
little it's
pretty
almost
much
not,
damn near a whole coast. California,
yeah.
damn near a whole coast by itself.
But I will say
The
like
damn near the West Coast by itself. It is the West Coast damn near for real
yeah,
by itself. I mean, unless you want to include what?
I mean, outside of them, there's no other. I think Arizona might consider
I would
themselves
say,
West
yeah.
Coast, but there's no Arizona rappers that hit big. There's no Vegas rappers that
I
hit big.
said no Las Vegas
There's
rappers, no
no,
Seattle, no Oregon.
no Oregon, no Washington, and if they are, I'm not saying
Damn,
they
so
don't
Cali is the West Coast.
exist. Yeah, as far as rap goes, yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
is. It is.
I
It
mean, because
is.
there's too many genres. You got San Diego, which is like Southern Cali. That gives you people like
Got
they're
Oakland by itself, LA.
yeah, I'm glad you cut me off because I'd have probably got them mad at me for what I was about to say.
What you about to
But
say?
those man, out of all of them, they're probably the quietest. They're probably the weakest because all they gave you is all that comes to mind to me is J.O. Felony, who he cranks like he got that like he got some verses. You know what I mean? He's like
Mhm.
weak as ice water, and they tell on you in suit, and it's true. Um, and
uh,
and and Nick Cannon.
and they can't bust your ass, boy. Stop playing.
I don't want no smoke with Nick Cannon. I'll do business with him before.
Mhm.
Nah, he put. Who
Shout
was
out to the
also
West Coast.
who was also Will Smith's protege, but nah, it bounces around because the Bay is different from LA. The Bay has also had some hell of a runs, man. Because like, it's Pop, LA, or the Bay? Probably both for real. But then you got Hyphy, you got E40, you got now you got people like Mozzie, Filthy
Yeah.
Rich, all
Mozzie
that.
be slept on too. I fuck with Mozzie.
I was living out there when he was blowing up.
What happened to him though? Is he
He
locked
still
up? I hope
he
he not
got.
locked up.
I think he's out. He got some new music out.
Shout out Mozzie, man. Hope your ass ain't in the jail, man. Cause these niggas.
You know what he reminds me of, like a Cali Fat Trap, like the way they rap a little bit. They're different styles completely, but just the wordplay a little bit.
So, with that being said, you know we always do a top 10, and it's kind of off the cuff. Top 10 West Coast rappers of all time.
Top 10. I'm gonna go with number 1 is Easy E.
That's gonna be your number 1.
Number 2 is gonna be Snoop. Number 3 is Tupac. It's like, nah, I'm fucking with you. Number 1.
No, that's not a
on
bad.
the list though. They're on the list, but that's not my order. Like, that's not my order. Number 1 is probably Pac, because I don't even like. I think he's just in a different category.
That's why I was about to say this.
So,
I was about to say this because you know I hold Pac in high regards, but Pac is a West Coast rapper. Don't get it twisted. But for the sake of this, because on any list, to me, he's gonna be like top dog. But I wouldn't put him on this list.
and real quick, because I
He
know
could be
why.
number 1, but
I know why, because I feel the same way. But sum it up real quick to the people watching why you think Pac is in such high regard. Why he's like a different echelon when it comes to that.
because he's the best way to put it is this. Now, if I said it, I'm gonna say it just how I say it.
Give him the elevator pitch, just real quick. Why he?
Because when you have Pac, you have the first person. You got a New York born MC. His first rap name was MC New York, by the way, but came by way of LA, right? So, California, right? So that's the first time we have that type of person, right? And to have him come through and represent not just East Coast, West Coast, but represent blackness, and then do it on an artistic level, like up here, it's hard to put him on any list because when you say he's the best rapper, you can make arguments with other people, but he's the first rapper to really one of the first artists to really wear their art on their sleeve, to live and die by their art. That's why it's hard to put him.
There you go. And I agree. Like when you say live and die, like that's what it means to me. Is like he really, literally lived and died
by the way of his exactly.
And I think he lived in a way where he knew what comes with it, and he was very revolutionary. You'll never have somebody in rap like I think it's impossible in rap. You'll ever get another rapper with the same lineage as Tupac. That comes from a family of revolutionaries.
That's not gonna happen.
And so the fact that he did what he did and the connections and the stuff he was doing behind the scenes, like with his money donating it here and putting money here and what he really stood for, and then to able to take complex thoughts. Like a lot of people don't think he's lyrical, but when you break down stuff, he's like talking about Brenda's got a baby, and he's like, Brenda's got a baby, but Brenda's barely got a brain. Damn shame. The girl can barely spell her name because she's so young, right? And it's like, she what she say? She wrapped the baby in the bed sheets. Didn't know what to throw away
and what to keep.
That is one of the hardest lines in rap to me, right there. She didn't know what to throw away and what to keep, and it's so simple that it doesn't seem as complex as it is. But I think it was Einstein or somebody that said you understand something when you can break it down where a child can understand.
Exactly. And I'll give you one. I'll give you another one. One of the because it's not just a line, right? It's the timing of this shit. And this is why I'm like, man, when you talk about writing, prophecy, when you talk about writing and having insight and force, here's the line where he proposed or asked the question, I wonder if heaven got a ghetto, right? Now this after this is after death, right? When this song dropped, I wonder if heaven got a ghetto, right? And then maybe, yeah, then to die,
and
then to pen a letter saying this later, right? Dear mama, don't cry. Your baby boy's doing good. Tell the homies I'm in heaven and they ain't got hoods.
that's right,
Shit
yeah.
like that. Like people, that is beyond. That's like that's Shakespearean to me to write like that. Like I don't think people get that. Like people don't even take the time to understand that type of penmanship.
Foresight, yeah.
Ask a question on one rap album, and then after death to answer that question. You got to understand. He had a song called Dear Mama.
Man, Pac had people watching movies like Gridlock. Like, you see the clock is at 7:05. That means that he's coming back on the seventh day.
I mean, but to be honest, remember the Machiavelli theories? Remember that?
I remember
to die what at 403? Oh, 4 and 3 is 7. Oh, the 7-day theory, 7-day Kaluna. Like Machiavelli, if you rearrange the letters, it says I'm alive. Come on, bro. Like, what we talking about? So what I'm saying is when you take your art that deep, and remember this on Share So Many Tears, he says, my every move is a calculated step to bring me closer to embrace the early death. Bro, come on, man. Who writes shit like that?
Which means he wasn't.
So that's why to go, let's get back to the point. That's why it's kind of hard to put him on that list because he's going to be number one, damn near on every list. Now, people going to have their biases. For all those who are not Pac fans, I get it. I understand it. But you're wrong. You're wrong. Simple as that. You're wrong and you're a fucking hater. But
so back to the top 10 because we got to get
10.
back on that in a little bit. But the top 10,
Right.
All right, excluding him.
So why don't you go from? Is it easier to go from 10 down to 1, meaning 1 is the best?
I'm gonna start at 1. And now what are we including? Are we including just overall everything, right?
This who like this is your personal. Look, here's the thing. Here's the thing for the out the frame smokers, for you, for DP, for me. When we do this is your personal feelings. Your personal, I like him, I fuck with him. That's who I'm rocking with. So it don't matter about sales, it don't matter about whatever. This is man, I'm rocking with him. So go ahead.
I'm gonna go one step further and not just I'm rocking with him, but who like said, I'm here, this is mine right now. Step to the side while I do my thing. So number 1, I think gotta be Snoop, actually. Because when Snoop came,
and here's what I would do while you do your list, I'm gonna say if I disagree or not, because I agree with that one. So
and he's not my favorite rapper from the West Coast, but I just think what he did for the West
Coast, done,
you can't match it. Like, and I think most West Coast rappers will say the same thing. Like, he kind of like kicked the door down for West Coast for the young rappers out of the West Coast, because before then all we had was NWA. You had like Tone Loc, you had like nobody's, you know what I mean? But what Snoop did, he had people smoking weed. He's part of what made weed American culture. How about that?
Can we try something different with this? You say we just going back and forth. You got the 1. So I'm gonna bring in 2. Number 2. I'm going to say, not because you said it earlier, but I'm really thinking Eazy-E. And the reason why, here's the reason why.
Okay.
Because you could put somebody like maybe Cube there, or maybe even Dre, right? But Dre's more of a producer.
Dre don't count to me because he's not a rapper.
He hasn't dropped enough music, right? Okay,
He's not a rapper, and I don't think he would call himself a rapper. So
Okay.
I mean, he raps, but he's not a
Right.
rapper. He's a producer.
But
and
I'm
when
just
he
saying it to
raps,
say, if someone put Dre there, it's like, all right, I'm not gonna argue.
it's like
but
putting Puffy on a list as a rapper. Like he's not really a rapper.
Dre better
That's
than
like,
Puffy rapping, man. Cut it out.
sure, yeah, no, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
All right.
like Puffy ain't a rapper. He's more.
So the reason why I'm putting
Like-
Easy E there, the reason why I'm gonna put Easy E there is because of his lineage. But mind you, Easy E wasn't supposed to be a rapper to begin with. But when he dropped this shit, his voice alone is in this, like, is so unique. It's one of the most unique rap voices in history. I think it's like 3-4 voices that's like, well, maybe 5. That's like, I'm gonna put Easy E there.
I'm gonna disagree. I think Easy might make the list, but definitely not number 2. At number 2, I'm gonna switch gears all the way for me, and I'm gonna say Kendrick Lamar is coming in at number 2. Let me tell you why. Because one, like Easy E, when like you got the whole NWA lineage, but as far as that goes, and you got to include Cube with Easy E and all that.
True.
Like when it comes to Eazy-E solo albums, he has some classic songs, right, that have been a part of rap. But like albums, like he doesn't have like cornerstone rap albums. I don't
got you. That's a good point. So let's do this.
Kendrick got Good Kid, Mad City. He got To Pimp a Butterfly.
That's true. So let's rock like this. Let's rock like this. Snoop, Kendrick, right? Bet. So I'm gonna let you go with number 3 too. Then I'm gonna see if I disagree or agree.
Number 3. That's tough.
I think I know who that number 3 gotta be.
Number 3, is it Cube or something?
It gotta be.
Like
don't even try to. Don't even look. Don't even try to put no pressure on
Matter
it.
of fact, especially if we're taking everything into consideration, it gotta be because like what he did with rap and rap culture, like with the movies and shit, and the music, and NWA before. I mean, his career with NWA, his career.
So we just rearrange it. We just rearrange it. So let's rock. We got Snoop 1, Kendrick 2, Cube 3. Then if you want to take
you take 4. You take 4.
I think
he's on the list.
That's what I'm going to put Easy at. I'm gonna put him at 4 because the reason why he's too important to not put him any lower. I mean, I wouldn't put him lower.
And he did give you Bone Thugs. He gave you
He's the look, bro. If anytime we calling somebody the godfather of a genre of music, he's the godfather of gangster rap, bro. Like
if you wanna look at it like that, then yes, I'll give him 4.
Because we'll put him at 9, 10.
I'll give him 4. We'll
all right, then let's go. Let's rock with number 5 then. So rehash. Right. We got Snoop 1, Kendrick 2, Cube 3, Easy 4. All right, number 5 on you. Let's go.
5. West Coast.
I know who I would say. I know who I'm gonna say.
Let's show some love to the Bay. I'm gonna go with E40.
All right, I ain't gonna because I can't knock that.
He's somewhere on the list.
All right, no, listen,
but he's on that list.
Nah, listen. Nope. Bump him up 1. 5 is going to be too short.
Oh,
5 is going to be too short. 6 is E40.
I agree. I'll put Short over. I'll put Todd over Earl.
And them niggas got a rap group together too with Snoop. With Snoop. So number 7.
So all right. So let's recap. We got Snoop number 1.
Yep.
Kendrick Lamar number 2.
Yep. Cube 3.
Cube 3. You say what?
4. We say Easy, right?
Easy. All right.
Yeah.
5 too short. 6 E40.
7.
Okay.
Nipsey.
Mm,
He can't be. He
no.
can't be. He can't be
No, and
lower than that.
I'm a big fan of Nipsey. I fuck with Nipsey, but I think his career was cut too short for him. I think given
For
the
all rap, maybe. For
three,
all rap, maybe. Not for West Coast though. DP.
nah, because before you
All right.
get Nipsey, I think you got to put Game up there before you get Nipsey.
Man, you about to have these niggas out here beefing again. You about to have these niggas out here
Not
beefing.
because
Hey,
like look, and I fuck with Nipsey harder than I fuck with the Game, but the Game got
he do.
he got a big catalog. Game's been around.
And to be honest,
He's been around
a lot of niggas ain't gonna rock with Game. Game can actually rap for real. He can rap his ass off for real.
He can. Everybody don't want.
He just name dropped too much for me, but he can
like,
rap for real.
Yeah,
That 92 and documentary too, man. Come on, man.
I think it's 2.5 or 2 documentary 2. You can find me in Crenshaw with
That nigga could be rapping.
That
bro.
joint cranks like shit.
But I think, to be honest, when we talk about all things considered, you said it.
Yeah, Game. I think was a bigger artist.
That's why I feel
and
like
I fuck with Nipsey. Like
that's why I feel like Nipsey's a
really
little bit.
Nipsey.
That's why I feel like Nipsey's a little bit.
He didn't get a chance to get. I don't think he reached his full potential. Given the time, he would have passed Game. But I mean, without Game, you don't even get Nipsey. So there you go. You don't get a Nipsey Hussle without the Game.
I'm kind of really sitting here and trying to.
The Game took Nipsey on his first tour.
I'm trying to really sit here and argument this shit. Like I'm trying to form some type of thought to be like, nah, nigga, you wrong. Cause
and this isn't about who I like better. Because I know that.
Because I get it. I get it.
Trying to be unbiased. What Game did, and for all those at home, like we're East Coast. You know what I mean? So this is their impact stretching all the way over here. It might be different to somebody who lives over there.
Damn, you might be right. Like I said, I've been sipping a little bit, so I'm trying not to be biased my damn self. Like
Nipsey just didn't get a full stretch, so I can't.
All right,
I can't. I'm just being unbiased. I just can't do it.
So that was 7, right?
That was 8, I think.
That was 8.
Game and Nipsey, yeah, I think that gets us.
Oh, so we gonna say 7, 8.
Was 6. E40 was 6.
So then 7, you said Game.
Yeah, and Nipsey was 8.
So we're gonna put Nipsey at 8. We standing by that? Is Nipsey on the list?
Yeah, he's on the list. He's on the list. Who's gonna knock him off? Who's knocking them off?
I'm about to say, maybe 9 or 10. Let's keep going. Let's see. 9.
The 9, I'm gonna go to the Bay, and this isn't necessarily for me, but I'm trying to be unbiased. I think Mac Dre, I know, gotta be somewhere on there. You know what I mean? Like his style and what he gave.
Yeah. This what he meant. This what he meant to the Bay and what he meant to to West Coast rap. I get it. And I ain't gonna argue with that.
Yeah, I think he got to make the list, but he never really cracked mainstream. He never really got big outside of the West Coast, like to have a major impact outside of the West Coast.
I mean, we know who he is. We saying it, but I get what you're saying.
So number 10 got to be Tiger or YG. It's like nah.
But nah, for real, you playing, but. All things considered, I'm trying to think. I know Mac 10 gonna have a problem with this.
Mac 10's gonna come see Slim.
Mac 10 me and Mac 10 kind of look alike. He might come see you. You the one said YG and Tiger. He goes put Tiger before me. Let me see.
Mac 10 did have that joint. He put out that album with Cash Money. That joint got cranked too.
Mac 10, Mac 10 has some. So let me see.
But nah, I wouldn't.
Nah, we might hold on, bro.
I'm not putting YG. Like YG and Tiger aren't making this list.
Can we put a group on there.
What group you got? Oaktown 357.
Man, as a staff record label and a motherfucking crew. Let me put down I don't know, maybe this is my personal bias, but man.
Oh, whoa. Look, I'm
Who
gonna
we
let
forget?
you get yours out.
Nah, who we
but,
forget?
man, whoa.
Nah, when you do that, we gotta.
Think of Death Row. Like, where's Corrupting Dads? Like,
That's all about it. That's
is
why I
they
was about
not
to say
on here
dog. That's why I
nowhere?
was about to say dog pound. That's why I said group. I was about to say, man, can we put a group on there? Because dog pound for a minute,
This
people
ain't
ain't
no
gonna.
to the problems and the schemes and the Mozzies and all that. They just
They just
they
haven't
gotta put
had a
more
stronger.
time in.
Yeah, and
gotta
they got to put more time in. That
That's
list can change in about 4 or 5 years. Like more time, it's like, all right, well.
But yeah, Corrupt is
And
like
that dog.
So I guess you got to put them in the
Man,
same
dog food. What we talking about? What we talking about?
It's the molecular.
Let's. I mean, at one point in time, we talking about rap groups, right? Dog, and they don't get enough love as a rap group. Because when we talk about rap groups, we talk about Wu, we talk about Bone, we talk about Outkast, we talk about NWA. We talk about Mobb Deep even. We don't nobody don't mention Dog Pound when they
it's messed up because you mentioned Dog Pound and it makes you think Snoop, and so Snoop gets the credit for that. And
hold on.
How you on a label with Snoop and Pop and Dre and all this shit? Like that's kind of
hold on. Nah, they ain't gonna make it.
And
I would say Warren G. Warren G ain't gonna make that list.
Nah, Warren G ain't on there.
He ain't gonna make the list. That Regulators was so fucking strong though. And if it was now, I'll put it this way: if it was a top 10 West Coast singles of all time, Regulators on that motherfucker.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you one of the top 10 West Coast singles, and it's gonna sound crazy, but you gotta admit it. This is how we do it.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night. You know that nigga was just at the when the Cavs the other night played. The Cavs played the Lakers, and they said R&B sensation and pastor Montel Jordan. And he came out
sensation and pastor. I would
and pastor. So I said, yeah, he is a pastor. Then he came out singing. Then he said,
I guess that's R&B.
Gang bang and forgot about the drive by. I said, yeah. You gotta get your groove on.
He was rapping though. Why would I put him in the rap category? Because that was a big G. But now I'm a big G. What did he say?
You get the money, dollar bill, y'all.
Hey, nah, for real, West Coast did have it on Smash for a long time.
Long time.
Hold on. Let's really rewind this. And if you go back to
they had the 90s.
If you go to the 90s, that was West Coast, period. New York tried to keep up, but if we're talking about TV, New York had New York Undercover. You had Onyx and all this Tim's baggy jean shit. But at the same time,
at the time, the West Coast was the culture.
Yeah, it was that.
They were the culture at that time.
For sure.
The movies that was coming, like you said, Boys in the Hood, Menace,
all that. It was.
Man, hold on.
Even that
Back
show,
it up.
South Central. What was it called? South Central or something?
There you go. It had Lorenz Tate in it.
Yeah, like
remember the movie South Central.
Yep. They even got your kid out there.
Yeah, my man Glenn Plummer. Shout out Glenn Plummer.
West Coast really had the 90s. In New York, it was a battle. Like for real, man. See, that's why for those that don't know, for real, it's kind of like the 90s is the golden era because you had New York that was still going strong.
Why you about to do that? You about to make me go. You about to make me go crazy because I always say this. Man, the 90s was the true golden era of hip hop, specifically I'm gonna say 94 to 98. Unmatched. It's
Because
unmatched.
here's the thing. It was like a war. Like I think now with music, with rap, it's kind of I'm gonna do what you're doing, but I'm gonna do it better. But I'm gonna
And
do it like
everybody had their own,
but I'm gonna do it better.
style.
So you got somebody like Playboy Cardi who just dropped. I'm listening. It randomly came on at the gym. I'm like, oh, this is a new
Oh, that's
feature.
your man. I got you. Playboy Car's your man.
I'm listening to Radar
That's your
Release.
man.
Radar Release.
That's his man. Y'all heard it here.
All right. I can't tell you one thing he said, but it sounded like Future. And how many people sound like Future? Or everybody got the same chain, everybody got the same style, they wear the
That's
same
what's
clothes,
wrong,
they got the same
man.
slang, they got the same look. Where like it was a certain point in time, like if I'm out of town, you see somebody in slouch socks and some New
You
Balance,
knew who they was from.
you
You
know
knew
they're
who they
from
was
back
from.
home. You see somebody with some Timbs on, tied a certain way, you know they're from New York or Delaware or something like that. Like you could know, you see somebody, you know where they're from immediately. And at a certain point, at that point to me, it seemed like rap was like, I see what you're doing. I'm not even gonna do it like you. I'm gonna do it my way, how my hood does it, how my street does it, how my block does it, and I'm gonna turn up.
That's what, to be honest, if you think about it, and I think niggas need to really understand that's what made hip hop strong, is because when we got stories and we got slang and we got a certain culture from certain states and certain coasts or whatever, it made it more interesting because it was simply different.
You gotta
So
think, you gotta think people didn't even want you like having a name like this. Like Trick got into it with Trick Daddy over the name. Like niggas
I
mad
mean,
because
it
you
was,
got a baby on the album cover.
I
'Cause,
mean,
oh,
if you even remotely rap,
it's
if you
like
even remotely rap the same, niggas had be like, remember when Bone
Crucial
was beefing with
Conflict
Do
and
or
Bone.
Die and Crucial Conflict just because they rap fast? Like just because they rap fast, it was like, no, you can't. We do that, and I get it. I firmly understand. So not
So,
knocking
but
that. That's what made it strong, though.
so in this era though, you got the West Coast. And that's probably one of the strongest times the West Coast has ever been. But at the same time, you got New York. And that's probably the strongest New York has ever been, right? Like if you go to New York now, it's like drill, like New York drill. First off, drill is
Not,
Chicago shit.
not only
That's
that,
Chicago
not
shit,
only
and it
that,
all is
not
the
only
same.
that, you got the West Coast culture heavily influenced into New York now. So not only have you got drill rap, you got Bloods and Crips in New York. Like,
Right.
what the fuck is we talking
New
about?
York, so New York is New York, sure, but like in the 90s, New York in the 2000s, New York was different. They like you know in New York,
They were
they're-
they were them. They see, this is the thing about hip hop. At some point in time, everybody was, it wasn't that they were trying to find themselves. Everybody knew who they were.
they just wanted to
So
tell
hip hop,
story.
in a sense, hip hop was an extension of soul music.
Like
It
how about
still
this?
had soul. The music still had soul in it. You couldn't tell me that Scarface lyrics did not have soul in it. You
How about
couldn't
this?
tell me that Pop or Snoop, that was an extension of soul music. You know what I mean? So you felt people and understood where they was coming from. And that's the
Everybody
difference.
had something to prove too. It felt like everybody had something to prove because, like I said, you had
Wu-Tang
the
had
West
soul in
Coast
their
over
music.
here, and they were doing their thing. You had New York, like Wu-Tang didn't sound like nobody else. You know what I mean? And you had all
Absolutely,
these
they did not.
Mobb Deep didn't sound like Wu-Tang, and Wu-Tang didn't sound like Nas, and Nas didn't sound like, you know what I mean? And that's just New York. So you have these two coasts, and then down south, they're like, hold on.
We
Y'all
got
forgot
something to
about the
say.
third coast?
We
And
got
then
something to say.
you got Swiss Suave House with Tila and all of them and 8 Ball MJG, and they're doing their thing. And then you go to
UGK.
Texas and you got UGK, you got Rap a Lot, Ghetto
Yeah,
Boys, Devin the
exactly.
Dude, all this sound coming from Texas.
Face
And
Mob and Ghetto Boys and
then
yeah.
you had New Orleans. Like, hold up. You ain't gonna leave us out of this. You
Hold
got
on, whoa.
whoa there.
Hold on, whoa.
Whoa there.
Oh, and by the way, man, shout out Lil Wayne and the Hot Boys. They just did Louisiana, and that was. Did you see that?
Nah, I saw
That
clips,
was
but
that.
didn't I tell you like 2 months ago when they announced Kendrick Lamar? I said if I were Lil Wayne,
Dog, that
I'm doing my own shit.
time
Didn't I tell you that?
I need y'all. Listen, I need y'all to
Didn't I
understand
tell
this.
you that?
I need y'all. Listen, out the frame, OTF smokers. Understand? My man be on point sometimes. That's all I'm gonna say. Because we had a discussion. You did say that. You did. You said no. This is what you said.
I said I would
You
have did it.
said, hold on, time out. I'm gonna give you your props. I'm gonna give you your props. This is what you said. You said, damn, if I was Lil Wayne, what I would do is I would just do my own show. And then we just, you know how we start throwing shit like, damn, all you gotta do is get the High Boys on there. And yep. So, and then it's funny because I was watching that shit and I was like, damn, we just talking about that shit. But it happened.
Different. I would have just did it during the Super Bowl to fire him. If I felt that slighted towards the
that's
Super Bowl,
what we said.
That's what we was talking about. I'd have been building it up. So I wouldn't have did it right now. I'd have did it during the Super Bowl. Like, all right.
That's the point. That's the point that
I'm gonna do my show while y'all do the halftime show.
And that's what we was talking about. It was like, man, if he's really feeling some type of way, do it during the Super Bowl to compete with the Super Bowl halftime show. Damn, man. Anyway, it was great seeing them brothers do their thing again. Lil Wayne also, Master P gave him his props, and he also told him that on Canal Street they're gonna put
the Walk of Fame, right?
Pretty much like the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but for music or for people out of Louisiana or New Orleans to have their just due recognition there. So that's gonna be huge.
To see, Master P.
Yeah, man. It was definitely good, man. Because you know how a lot of times we be thinking that you know, back in the day, oh, they must have been beefing. Nah, it's like them brothers show love to each other. And they say, yeah, it was always competition between No Limit and Cash Money, but rightfully so. But it's good to see that they came together for that moment to salute Lil Wayne, to salute Cash Money in general. It's good to see BG Turk, because I mean Turk was wilding out on Birdman a couple months ago. But it's good to see they got their shit together. Just, I mean, even if it was just for that night, you know, it's good to see that they came together and put on a great show for Louisiana Fest 2024. So I want to
say Lil Wayne made the call.
Yeah, man. So salute to them.
Lil Wayne made the
call. That was a great look. And now we're going to get into what's going to happen, I guess, with the Super Bowl. We was just talking about it, but with Kendrick Lamar doing this show, what more do you expect from Kendrick, or what do you think is going to happen, or what you think that's, you know, what are you going to bring to the table? Is it going to be completely new music? You know, he's going to hit the Not Like Us. That got to be, come on, man. We know that's going to be one of the main songs.
So this is what I'm saying. So like he's gonna come out with something before then, and I think it might be with Dr. Dre and Snoop. Because who better than to like have a lead off single for their album other than with Kendrick, Snoop, and Dre? And the song's gonna go crazy. I think you're gonna go from the first song. It'll probably be like some warm up song. Not a warm up, but like maybe like that, or because he got to do new music. He just did it 2 years ago. He can't go up there and do the same program. So I think you're gonna get something like that to kick it off, and you might go into one other song, and by that third song, you know what time it is, and he's gonna go all the way up to A minor. And he's gonna hold it. I'm telling you, watch. Come back to this. He's gonna hold it once he gets the A minor part, and then he's gonna go into like 2 new songs or something like that, like 2 newish songs, either something new from an upcoming release or something that was released not too long ago.
Right. So
5 songs. They Not Like Us. He's not gonna end on them.
I don't think going on that. I think that if anything, that's gonna be
first. It's not.
That's gonna be like that's gonna be like the first, second.
It's not
song
the
he
first,
do.
and it's not the last. It's gonna have to be like the second.
Yeah,
He's gonna have to do it, and he's gonna have to get it out the way.
Yeah, I agree.
It's in his best interest to not end on that song. You can't be like, this whole year I've been riding this song and this.
Yeah,
that's not a good look for him.
You're right.
Even though he came and
I
did.
think what he's gonna do with that show, I think, because one thing that I see from Kendrick that I do admire in a sense of just being an artist, that he brings to his stage performances artistic expression as if it was a video. So
yes.
I think
have big budget.
Yeah, so I think he's gonna I think because I think what he also understands is it's going to be big, not just for himself as an artist, but big for hip hop. And I think he wants to, I don't want to say impress, but make an impression. I'll put it that way. Make an impression that is, oh, this is art. Because I think a lot of people that's still outside the genre of hip hop don't look at it as art. And that's always been the stigma with it. But I think if he does it right, he's gonna do it justice.
So I have a question for you, and I was thinking about the answer. And so I think one of the songs he might do is Family Ties, Baby Keem. Because like, who is he gonna bring on stage? Is it gonna be all Kendrick? Or is he bringing somebody on stage with him?
I think. Let me put it this way. A couple months ago, Kendrick did a show. I think it was on Amazon Prime.
The Pop Out, right?
The Pop Out, and
I think this is gonna be way different than that.
I think it is, but I think it's a moment. I think it's a moment in there, right? That is going to be etched in at least West Coast rap for sure. But when he brought everybody out on stage, I think if he was to do that again, and because I think that was, to be honest, I think that was a thing where it was like, oh yeah, everybody's here, come on, let's go on stage and take these pictures. Because I was watching it live, and it's like they stood on, it was taking pictures, and I was like, okay, that's what's up. Like he brought everybody from his hood, obviously, everybody he know, everybody was a part of the program, and it was like it was beautiful to see. So I think that will probably tie into this, because when you talk about family ties, like he got to show that even on a bigger stage, dare I say. And it might be, it's funny because this whole show been a West Coast show for real, but it might be for the love of rap music, but to kind of show like, no, the West is hip hop. And I think he want to show that, because to me, honestly, I think Kendrick has a real love for the West Coast. People that came before him and people that's in his class. So I think that's what it's going to be about. Obviously, during this Super Bowl, he's going to show love definitely to the West Coast. And I think what you said earlier about bringing Snoop and Dre out, that's going to be.
I think he might do that. I think there's a potential you might see SZA. Maybe that song you got with SZA, that All the Stars or something like that.
Yeah, that's you right. Let me tell you why. I think there's a interview he just did a couple weeks ago with Bizarre.
Oh, with SZA, yeah, with SZA, yeah,
with SZA. So I think that might happen. Lining up. So we shall see.
Come back and they're gonna see.
We shall see. We shall see. We shall see. That's interesting. So before we go, your thoughts on Young Thug finally being free after what, I guess about 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it through the text. And once he took that plea, I think we both knew as soon as he took that plea, he's coming home. Like otherwise, he wouldn't have took the plea. And I don't know if you saw what his lawyer said after it, but his lawyer said he shouldn't have took the plea. His lawyer said he wanted a not guilty.
His father said the same thing.
His lawyer said but he said something along the lines that you know, if you were sitting there that long, you know, and you get an opportunity to get out, would you take it, or are you gonna wait another 5, 6, 7, 8 months? And he's like, I knew he would have got the not guilty, but like he wants to go home. He's been here long enough. He's ready to go home. On the heels of that, do we see music from Gunna and Young Thug?
For sure. For sure. Now, I think I will say this. We're going to see music from Gunna and Young Thug. If not, I think what we will see is probably an album from them, not just a song or two.
If they do an album, and if they do it with Lil Baby,
Nigga,
Gunna, Young Thug do an album,
it's a wrap.
I got it doing 300,000-400,000 the first week.
It's going to be a wrap, and I think it's going to be more than just them, though. I think they may lead the charge, but I could see Future on there. I could see, I mean, the who's who of Atlanta rap will be on that album. And I think everybody is going to want to be on that album.
I think Young Thug, I think we see a different Young Thug too. I don't necessarily mean music. First off, he can't rap about gang subject
Why
matter
should he?
Legally.
Why should he? Why would he?
I mean, he's in a position like he just went through what he went through, right? So we don't have anything to prove, right? For the people that think that's what you
not at all.
He just went through it, and all the stuff that they said he did was coming out in court. So now he can play the role of like, nah, I'm gonna give you party music, I'm gonna give you vibe music, and I'm gonna give you something to think about music. Like, this system's fucked up. I think we might get a little bit.
I will say this: sometimes, man, you got to be careful what you ask for.
Huh?
I will say this: sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for, and I ain't talking about niggas, because if you get somebody that's in a position like Young Thug, you can now turn him to a martyr, and he's still alive.
He made
you get what I'm saying?
Get him bigger.
You can make him bigger.
You
because if he let's say he hit that switch like a Nipsey or a Pop, and he like, you know what? All right, this is what I'm about to do. And he started talking in any type of way.
I think he might. Didn't he buy all that land? Like,
I was about to say right before he got locked up.
I think we see a different Young Thug, and I think we see a focused Young Thug. You got to figure. So this is what he sat down before. I sat down before. People who sat down know, like, that is a time
to think.
Like,
time to think.
Some people crash out with their time and they don't do nothing, and those are the people who come right back, right? But sometimes when you get everything taken away, you can drink, but like it's not even worth it, right? It's not the same. It's not worth it, and why? Like, right? So you ain't drinking. He's not drinking lean. You see what Gunna did when he came home, right? He's hitting the gym. He's put on the boxing gloves. He's getting in shape and all that, right?
Right.
Because you took the lean away.
I think Thug gonna probably do the same fucking thing, to be honest.
And
Gucci did the same thing.
I guess that's what Atlanta rappers do. And you got to think, Thug watched all these people testify or do this or do that. So when you're in a situation like that where people think it's over, they show their true colors. So we had people around them for sure, stuff we might not be privy to, but I bet you he knows, like,
oh yeah, he sees.
I thought this person was in my corner. They ain't write me. They ain't do this. They ain't do nothing. These people done stole my jewelry. I come home, all this is gone. That's gone. They was taking my money. That this person was there for me. This person just like, so he's gonna come home with a clear mindset. And
I agree. For
those that don't know,
if he's smart, he definitely gonna take inventory about his whole situation and make the right moves.
Who he needs around him and who he doesn't.
Absolutely.
When you sit down, you get wound up, and so people come home and they're moving at a different speed than people who have been on the street. That's why you get somebody like a Wallow who comes home and just jumps over people, because he's had all this time to think about what he wants to do, and he's not taking it for granted when he comes home. And when you have somebody like Thug who comes home with opportunity, access,
and money,
he can do all these.
And all eyes on me.
He got the keys to the kingdom. And now this is probably the most sober he's ever been in the past 10, 15 years of his life. Now, what's he going to do with it?
Right. So hopefully, Young Thug, hopefully, Jeffrey, I'm talking to Jeffrey, nigga, do what the fuck you gotta do. Don't play with these motherfuckers. I'm talking about, when I say don't play with these motherfuckers, I'm talking about everybody. The streets, the fucking law, whoever. Don't play with them, man. Like, make them stand on it, you know? And you stand on it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Go for yours. That's what I say. But yeah, salute to him. Glad he home. And YFN Lucci's supposed to be coming home too in January. So
Really?
Shit, wow, yeah.
You know it'll be so crazy, right? What if they
That's what I'm saying. See, that's what niggas need to realize. The
opportunity.
And shit.
So I know they got
because think about
how much money did Young Thug lose in the past?
Oh, he lost millions.
How much money did YFN Lucci lose?
Both of them lost millions.
So they
regardless of the number, they lost millions. So I'll put it this way.
So they know that beefing ain't on nothing now, right?
It ain't on nothing. And I will say this.
You lost people, we lost people.
And I would say this. Sometimes, again, you gotta be careful what you ask for. And understand sometimes the game that's being ran.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Circumstantial, it's like this. I'm gonna let both of them niggas out. We're gonna see what happens. Now, it could be just circumstantial, but sometimes you gotta understand. Sometimes these motherfuckers they don't play fair.
Oh,
but if I was them,
let them like put.
Man, sometimes I just know.
Box up and put these.
See, the thing about it is,
box up.
See, the thing about it is when it comes to them motherfuckers, they always do this. Plausible deniability, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna put both of them out there, and they stand back like this. We ain't do shit. But niggas need to be smarter.
But we're gonna put 20 years on top of your head. You fuck up.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Got you, because you took a plea. You can't appeal no plea.
And that's why niggas need to be smarter and move smarter. Like I said, the best thing they could do, best thing they could do is say, you know what? Squash this shit. Fuck that shit.
Like this. If they squash that on a big stage on their platform, they squash it, right? And they come together. Like I said, they say Young Thug does an album and it's Lil Baby and it's Gunna, YSL. The joint's going crazy, first off. Whatever Young Thug drops is going crazy.
It's going to go crazy.
But then if he does it with Gunna, you can't, there's not a single blog, there's not a single outlet or whatever that's not going to pick that story up. Not a Instagram page, whoever, they're all going to pick that story up.
Nigga, we going to cover that shit. So.
For sure. And then you throw Lil Baby in it. And you just throw Lil Baby in it for nostalgia sake, for the fans, and it's gonna go crazy. And
that's one thing that I think is really definitely going to happen. They all three gonna get on a song together.
Imagine if on this album, especially look, Rich Homie Quan just died, so now you got to think somebody like Thug. They were rich gang, but
then they went through their little bullshit. So now, which I don't think was a real beef. I think it was just misunderstanding and all right, nigga, fuck you, I got it. Fuck you, I got it. Like,
yeah, people get in your ear, and it's like, somebody like that got to look at it like, man, this happened, that happened. Oh, that shit.
He lost a few people while he was locked up.
Yeah, but imagine they do this album and one of the songs features YFN Lucci. Now, for the streets of Atlanta, forget the music, for the streets of Atlanta, imagine how big that is.
Right. It shut down a lot of beef, and it's like, man, let's get to the money. Now, I will say this. Remember how we was talking in the beginning of this show, this episode, about the stronghold that West Coast had.
That's what I was getting to. Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
They do that.
Atlanta got a 5-year run off that alone. 5 years.
They would definitely have that. They would definitely have
Atlanta. Rap is gonna have blinders for Atlanta. They ain't hearing nobody else. If you're from LA,
because right now,
or Tyler or somebody like that. If you're from the South, you better it's gonna be all Atlanta. Period.
Not for sure. Not for sure. It is.
Not gonna compete neither. If they come together,
I don't think. Honestly, when you think about hubs of rap, I don't think nobody will be able to compete with that. if they
Man,
were to do that.
If they link up like that, then you start bringing in people like Gucci and all. Like, man, it's just nothing you can do. It's just they got it. They
It
got
will
it.
be a wrap. It
And don't
definitely
let
will
the
be
music be good. It's game over. I'm telling you, that's an easy 5-year run at the top. At the top.
Game over.
Game over. For real.
No bullshit. But look, just like that, we out of here too. It's game over for us. This is your boy Blek out the frame.
DP don't play. And we out of here.
Yeah. And it's another one down. Episode 6. We out.
We out.
Beat up the track, I black do it, produce it and rap to it. My nigga, I'm not foolish. What you know, do it and do it. That ruthless can't hold up a match to it. Now spark up some pack to it. Yeah. I'm Coach Rivers in every team meeting.